Hello and welcome to part 2 of my custom made watercooled desk. Just to note to everyone that there is a build log that I'll put in the description having regular photo updates, so the photos are a lot better than the video and are updated a lot more frequently. So just going over what's changed since part 1. So since part 1 the desk has been varnished. I'm not sure how well it's going to come out on camera, but it is a lot darker than it was previously. And also I now have got the radiator grills screwed on. The screws I've got holding the radiator in a cap screws. They are M3 30mm long, and the radiator is in tight. Both radiators are in. Now with the fans, all the cables have been custom linked. This is because there will be a hub, which is this here, that will be sitting under the fan, under the radiator. It'll just be slipping under there like so and hidden out of way, and all the fans will be plugged into there, and then the extension will be going to the fan controller. I have got the grill screwed in like so. Sorry about the light, guys, it's a bit dark in here, so turn the light on. Now I've got my pumps. These are just sitting here to show you what I've done. Right, so before they were powered by Molex, and I thought, well, I thought I knew. I had them, I tested them out, and they're quite loud. And I just wanted to try and find out a way to control the speed. It's a bit quieter because running two of these, and when you're sitting back here, and they're just right in your face, so it'll be quite loud. So I actually modified them so that they are powered by my fan controller. Which is a G-Vans Legion fan controller. It's got the thermal stuff, and it looks really good. It's got adjustable LED colours and whatnot. So if we come around here, the fans plugged in there, so I can control them and undervolt them to control the speed, which is actually quite nice. I run them around about 8 volts, 9 volts, and it's nice and quiet. It sounds good. I'm just going to stop the camera for a sec, and I'll put some more gear in, and I'll lay out the loop of how we have in the loop roughly, and I'll get back to you. Right, here we are with all of the components in. I'll just give you a rundown of how the loop will go. So we'll start with this radiator. So this radiator will go with a crystal link tubing all the way to this one. To the bottom of that radiator, I'll be drilling holes through here, and extension fittings will come around and loop it around 45-degree fittings, going into a T-block. So the T-block will then go to the reservoir here, so the water will be filling in both the reservoirs at once. Now this is a T-block too, so it's got a fitting on the end just in there, and that's what I'll be using either for a fill port or a drain port. So then we come down into the pump, so both the pumps intake from their own reservoir. Then what happens down here is the outlet. These two outlets will come to this block here, which is an interesting block. So what happens is there's two holes here, so this will be the left pump, this will be the right pump, and then it will outlet into this, so it'll come out a tube there. It'll come out here, then it'll come up this, around here. Use your imagination. There'll be two water blocks here, so two water blocks. Then it'll come down into the UP7 block. Now, on my other video I did say that I wasn't going to be using the excess PC block for the UP7, but I actually changed my mind, and I saw a build that was using the heat killer blocks and also the GTX 680, and I thought, man, those blocks are a lot nicer than what I think of EK at this stage. So yes, and the XS PC block actually worked really well with the heat killer block. So yeah, I changed my mind and I'm glad I did. But I might look into getting rid of this XS PC logo here. But I'm not too sure about that yet. I might just leave it. It's not really hurting anyone. Yep. So then uh, into the CPU block, out into this fitting here. Now what this fitting here is, it'll come out into a 45 loop, and then out into three tubes, and they'll each go into the 45-degree fitting. So 3 tubes will all come down here into the other one, which this will go back into the radiator. Sorry. So yeah, so it'll probably take a little while to get all the crystal link all the right size. I'll just grab my link. So I went to a plastics place in town, and I just got meter length of the crystal link. Unfortunately, this is 12mm OD by 8 ID, whereas normal crystal link is 12 OD and 10 ID. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's just that more water will be able to go in the proper crystal link, which I might look at getting from Performance PCS. However, shipping is damn expensive. You have to get them meter links from Performance PCS, but I might ask if I can get them cut down to 500mm and get them shipped that way, so that'll cut down the shipping costs. So with the power supply, I bought some fittings, whatever you call them, connections for the power supply, so I can make my own cables. So the cables will it'll be in a block like this, like just down here. So it'll be like a square rectangle box for the cables to route their way through. So the cables will be routing their way through here, through there, and then into there, blah blah blah. Also, I might be looking at getting a PCB made to power these instead of 3 wires. It'll look quite tidy and a lot cleaner. Just have to research that and see where I can get that done in New Zealand. Sure there'll be some place, but just have to do some research. But yeah, so that's really all that's changed. And also this backboard here. This will be where my monitor sits on. I bought a crossover 30-inch monitor. It's a 2560 by 1600, I think it is, and it looks fantastic. I think I got it for 800 New Zealand dollars, something like that, 670 US. Now it was a good buy. Money was a bit tight, so I was going to get a Dell UT11, but the crossover was half the price, so why not? So this is the backboard. It is supported by this 3 of these, so one here, one in the middle, one at the end. It's bloody sturdy, so nothing's going to break. And also I've got these little clips here which are in the cable management, so when they come around they'll go into the I/O right there. Yeah, so that's really all that's changed since the last video. Yeah, so down we go. Just give you a good look around and see if you can, well, not see if you can, just enjoy the video. Again, just like to thank my sponsor Performance PCs for the reservoirs. Just in case I didn't say in my last video, this is my Steam drive, and these two are two 128 gig 840 Pro SSDs, 256. So these two running a RAID with the Windows on it. There's no hard drives because I've got a server, so all my files are on there. Right, with probably about a week has passed since I did the last snippet of video, and as you can see, there's been a bit of change around here. So I got my 2 new graphics cards, GTX 680s, just the 2 gig cards. I had a 4 gig card originally, as you might have known. Bit of financial stuff, so probably I got the 680 just to save a bit of cash, and because I was doing some tests, and I was on a what was it, Tomb Raider, at 1600p. I was only using it 2.1 gig of VRAM, so there's not really that much of a difference between that and 2 gig cards. So I thought I'd just save my money and get the 2 gig cards. So I put on there the Watercooled Heat Killer GTX 680 Whole Edition blocks, which I think look absolutely fantastic. They look fucking amazing. So the block, and then we also have the back plates as well. As you can see, there's been a bit of tubing crystal link going in. So just down there we've got a 45 degree fitting, and then another one. It just goes up there to 90. Yeah, so that's how the loop will be like that, and then obviously we'll have one coming down here, coming down there, coming down here, and then this will go to the pumps and whatnot. I've also been doing some custom wiring, so all these wires are the same, all different lengths, so that I made it so that this, I made it so this wire here was about, I don't know, a centimetre longer than this wire here, so that it gives it a nice curve and that everything's going to be able to flow around nicely. That was the same with the 24 pin as well, so everything is going to be all looking good and all aligned properly. Now the way that I'll be using the cable management for this, I've got some motherboard standoffs, and what's going to happen is when these cables are sleeved, obviously they'll be a bit fatter. They'll be sitting in here all one to one, so that they're all lined up, and then I'll just get some clamps that'll go across there and just screw in, and that'll hold it in. So that should come out pretty tidy. I mean, if I bugger it up, it's a pretty easy fix, and I can find another way to do it. So I have not done the graphics cards one yet, because what's going to happen is the wiring will come out of here into a small PCB that I might be making, because the AX760i uses two 6-pin GPU plugs per one cable at the power supply, which is a pain in the bloody ass. It looks absolutely terrible for sleeving. So what will happen is there'll be a electronic PCB here probably. I'll make a cover and shit for it, so it'll look quite nice. And so two wires will come, two different cables will come from the power supply into the block, and then the 4 will come, so 2 off each. One will go into the graphics card, and the next 2 will go off into that one. It's probably the tidiest way I can think about doing it, and hopefully it comes alright. It's also the same with the SSDs. I'll be making a PCB for that as well, because for the SATA and stuff like that, for the power, so that one SATA power will power all of these into a PCB, which will be over just in this corner. Not too sure how I'll be doing the PCB yet. I might just get some strip board and make it myself, or I might do the printing style and print my own PCB. It's all in the planning stage at the moment, but things can change from now. Alright, so this build is nearly actually finished, to be honest. Just for the second, I'm actually waiting on some components to come from the States, from Sidewinder Computers. Found that their multi-link adapters are the cheapest at $4 each. So when you're picking up about 40 of those, saving a couple of dollars here and there is actually quite good. So we've got 40 of those crystal link adapters on the way, at 8 minis. So at the moment I've got some minis here and here and here, but they're just old ones that are all scratched up and shit like that, so I just want to get some new ones that are nice and tidy and clean. So those are just there for testing purposes. Yeah, and also I have to get some Mayhem's coolant. I'll be using the pastel orange. I'm just asking Mick at the moment if he'd be interested in sponsoring me with my build, but yeah, so might come through and sponsor me, which would be great. So in one of the packages that came from the States, I also got these PCI adapters, which are, I think, Little Devil PCI covers, which they actually go with the UP7 very well. They look good. And also I got a front panel I/O. So what we've got here is you've got the 4 USB 2s, 2 USB 3s, an eSATA, and micro SD, SD, and whatnot over there. It's just for handy, well, I can't really, if I want to get a flash drive, I can't really go around the back and plug it in. So just good to have the availability and the expansions of having them all in the front. I'm still trying to decide where we were using the power and reset. I got some Vandal switches, so I might with the what was it, mdpc-x ASIL black cover thing, and I might put it here over this side, or it's still trying to work out the best way to put it. Focus, you sack of shit. There you go. Here's what I'm saying here. So it's kind of tight where I can put it, because I can't really put it up here. It's a bit too fat, so I might end up not using the mdpc-x cover and just having a reset here and a power on here. Yeah, so that's basically it for the minute. Everything's starting to come along quite quickly, and hopefully in the next month or so it'll be all done and ready for some home use. At this stage I'm still trying to, there's my monitor, just FYI, 30-inch anyway. So I'm having the keyboard tray here and here, just the top of it will be on the lip of that. I was going to have a aluminium bracket down here, which is going to have a bearing, and then I was going to be able to swivel a tray around. Still trying to work out what I'm going to do there. But yeah, it's all still in the plating stage for the keyboard tray. It will be the last thing that I do in the build, because it's just taking so much plating just to see if I can actually get it right. And I also, I've actually got a spare Samsung 840 Pro SSD that I might just chuck in there. So I'll actually have 4. I have another one here. That's another 128. So I'll have 3 128s for the OS and the 256 for the Steam drive. Now with these cables here, they're all bloody, all bloody horrible and shitty, so I've got to pull them all apart and lengthen them and make sure they're all fit for how I want them. The USB 3 actually works quite well, and it's probably the correct length already. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say for the minute about the desk. It's coming along quite well, and I'm very happy with how it's turning out. Yeah. Let me know what you think about it. As I said earlier in the build video, there is a forum link. This one I'll have to Linus Tech Tips, which is just a new forum starting out, and it's coming out fantastically as well. So get you to support that forum as well while you're over there. Oh yeah, as sleeving wise, I will be obviously saving them. I just I'm not too sure what colours I'll be having. I think I'll do a black and orange, or yeah, probably a black and orange I think would fit in the best. I don't want to overpower the orange too much, so I might just have probably 4 out of the 12 wires orange. So yeah, check out Build Log, guys. It's got a lot more photos and more clearer shots than I'll ever get with this camera. Thank you for checking out this video. Yeah, as I said, probably 3 or 4 weeks away I'll have the build complete and the last and final video out for this series of the desk build. I have got some upcoming build ideas that I'll be doing. I'll probably just be doing case modding more than actually building from now. So now that I've got the desk, I don't really need another build. But we'll see what happens, guys. Yeah. Thank you very much. See you later.